that are affecting me. Rising crime, poverty, issues in my own country. But today we're talking about it. Yes, we're gonna talk about it. Ain't nobody wants to open their mouth, but we don't speak out. At the Youth Zone, searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down. At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Youth Zone. We're coming to you from the Sand Hills Emerald Bay Resort in wonderful and beautiful, breathtaking Farmers Hill, EXUMA. And I've been having a ball here for the past few weeks. We've been here enjoying this wonderful hospitality with, of course, the EXUMians. Any EXUMians in the house? If you missed our show last week, we've had a phenomenal time talking about education. I have some great co-hosts from the Ellen Coakley High School, Mr. Glenn Roll himself, and Miss Rebecca Knowles have done a phenomenal job co-hosting. I'm gonna miss y'all after this show, man. I can take y'all back to Nassau with me, what you say? Y'all ready to go? Ready to pack those bags, let's go? She's like, no, we ain't going nowhere. We're staying right here. But of course, on today's show, we want to focus on something that's really important for the people of EXUMA, and that is the developments and the entrepreneurial opportunities that are posed with the new and expanded EXUMA and what many people call the rebirth of an EXUMA on the horizon. How does young people play a part in what is about to happen on this island with all the development, job opportunities? What role will these young people have to play with high employment opportunities, infrastructural development, business and investment projects? In other words, the EXUMA that you once knew will be no more. What does that mean for you?
And while this means new opportunities for people like myself and an opportunity to have great careers without leaving home, there's also a price to pay for modernization.
True.
Very true. Very, very true. Not to mention the issues that come with development and economic boom. I mean, don't get me wrong, we do welcome it, but are we truly prepared for all that comes with it?
Those are some fascinating questions you just posed there, Glenn. And those are some of the things we want to talk about on today's show as we focus on the new EXUMA. How do you feel about it? What is about to come? How is it going to impact you?
Our discussion begins when we come right back.
Stay close. High employment opportunities, infrastructural development, business and investment projects. In other words, the EXUMA that you once knew will be no more.
It's not if you're qualified, you have to teach GCSEs for it, you have to degree for it. It's about who you know.
What I do have a problem with is the fact that there are going to be a lot of new faces over here. So they are probably going to bring their customs and practices that they're used to, what we EXUMians are not accustomed to.
That's a good point. You mentioned that's a serious thing.
At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. To save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
And welcome back. We're coming to you. This is the Youth Zone from Farmers Hill, EXUMA, of course, the ballroom of the Sand Hills Emerald Bay Resort.
So, we're talking about the new EXUMA. Are we ready for it? What will it look like? What do we have to do to take advantage of it? Well, our social media correspondent, Christopher Adderley, has this week's responses.
Thanks, guys. We're excited to hear from you on our topic of the week. And oh boy, didn't we get some interested response? Take a look.
Yes, the new development will be beneficial for us because it will open more opportunities for jobs for the little kids that are now growing up, and it will also bring more people to the island, so it will expose us to the different cultures, and yeah.
I feel that we are prepared for the new EXUMA. The education that we're receiving now is laying a good foundation, preparing us to interact with people that will be coming to EXUMA after all the development. It will increase career opportunities, it will increase the jobs that are available, and our people, the young people that are coming up now, will be able to compete globally in that EXUMA will become a place that is open to people all over the world now that it's developing.
I agree that I am ready for the new development of EXUMA, but on the other hand, I disagree. Because although the economy will be boosted, because Bahamians are not qualified for some of the jobs, that means that they will bring in foreigners to fill in these jobs, which means that we will be at a disadvantage again because of this problem. But I am ready for it, but I hope that other Bahamians will be prepared too.
So we want to hear from you. Stay tuned to our social media site on Twitter at the Youth Zone 242 or Instagram at the Youth Zone or our Snapchat, the Youth Zone, and send us a 20-second video on your opinion of the topic. This is your news reporter. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Christopher. Well, it's time to turn up the heat. They're the life of the party and the muse with all the views. We're talking about our TYZ panel. Hey, how y'all doing, EXUMans? All right. So, how do y'all feel about this issue? We've been talking about the new EXUMA. How do you feel about it? How do you feel impacted by it? Do you think there's a part and a role to play? What's your views on the whole issue?
Well, this is Lloyd.
Hey, Lloyd.
Well, I think the new development will greatly impact the island of EXUMA. It would generate a lot of revenue, but what I do have a problem with is the fact that there are going to be a lot of new faces over here. So they are probably going to bring their customs and practices that they're used to, what we EXUMians are not accustomed to.
That's a good point. You mentioned that's a serious thing. Before I go to the next person, the reason why I stopped there is because that's exactly what happened to Bimini. Bimini experienced this new burst and a full employment and big development with the One World Resort, the Resorts World Bimini project, and it just brought in hundreds of people from other islands, New Providence particularly, and as they came in, so did the crime go up, so did the issues go up, everything went up, and I'm sure people are saying in EXUMA, since we're next, like Bimini, do we want that to happen to our island? Good point. We're going to get into that in a second. Good point. Yes.
Hi, Georgiano. I think it's a good thing, but it also comes to a challenge when it comes to the local EXUMians, because as Lloyd said, with the development, it'll bring a lot of new people and new faces. And I think that'll leave the EXUMians to a disadvantage, because we EXUMians have to compete in order to get jobs, because say we have the constructions, when they build in the buildings, they won't think of the EXUMians to give those the jobs, but in order they'll just bring it to other people, and that'll leave the EXUMian at a disadvantage.
Are EXUMians doing what they need to do to take advantage of the opportunities? That normally is the issue. You see, people can come into your island to compete with you, but if you take advantage of the opportunities to avail yourself for the job and prepare yourself and train yourself, then no one can take it from you. And as a good example, we held a town meeting when we were here, and many young people didn't bother to come out. But these are the same people who say they want the jobs and the opportunity. But are they the ones signing up for the National Training Agency for the skills opportunities that are available? Are they the ones signing up for the training opportunity so they can qualify? See, we want jobs, but we don't want to do what it takes to qualify ourselves for the jobs. And when other people come in well qualified, we want to get upset. But the reality is, if you're an investor, who you want? The best, right? You don't care whether they're from the island or from another island. So you have to understand that the opportunities are available to you now. But you've got to do something. You can't just sit there and say, we want jobs. You have to be able to sign up for the jobs. You have to be able to sign up for the courses, sign up for the training, so that you're able to qualify for those jobs. Make sense? Yes. Makes sense. And a lot of people aren't doing that. They're sitting back saying, I want a job. Well, it ain't gonna come to you and say, come, work for me. You have to do some things to get it. So I think EXUMians have to not be lazy. EXUMians have to want to go ahead and do it. Good point, though. Yes, go ahead. You can.
With this society now, it's not about if you're qualified or not. It's about who you know and who you don't know. Okay, say your family owns this company, or you know this person who owns this company. It's not if you're qualified, you have the BGCSEs for it, you have the degree for it. It's about who you know. You're gonna pick, okay, you know this child from a young age, you're gonna pick them over the person who's more qualified because you feel like, all right, that's my friend's child, I gotta help them out or whatever like that.
Okay, that's a point. You know, who you know is the Bahamian motto. So, but anyway, I leave it alone. Go ahead. Go ahead. Stand up for me.
At the end of the day, you want the job to be done right. So hiring your friend's child and paying your friend's child for not doing the job doesn't make much sense.
I totally agree. I agree, but it makes you sleep at night when they ain't got burning you down.
But
You owe me, you owe me, you owe me. Yeah.
That's Bahamians though.
True, true. Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Watson, I think it's a wonderful thing because when you look at it, it's less people on the streets. You know, exumians, like nowadays, people don't work because of less jobs or whatever. Now that the new development is happening, more people could be less on the streets and more into work.
But are these people, are these people doing what they need to do to take advantage of these jobs? Because I'm thinking, we know that, the Children's Bay Key coming on stream soon. There's Stalking Island. There's February Point. There's, of course, Sandals. There's so many other resort developments. But what are these Bahamians doing now if they don't have a job in order to get a job? You see what I'm saying? Are they saying now, I'm doing training classes 3 days of the week while I'm hanging on the block 2 days, 3 days I in classes? Or are they just sitting there hoping somebody gives them a job? Or are they literally doing some things to prepare themselves? Because you might say, well, they're doing construction, what kind of courses they could do? You'd be surprised. You see what I'm saying? Or even if it means going around to somebody's construction site and saying, can I volunteer and help? And eventually that turns into an employment opportunity. But we believe, I ain't going until you done sign me up, you done show me how much I can make, you done give me everything I need, and then I come into work. And that's not the mentality we ought to have. In the Caribbean countries, most of these people from the Caribbean countries, they will go to work and volunteer their services, hoping to get a salary. You see, in the Bahamas, we have this sense of entitlement. We believe, since we're Bahamians, you ought to give it to me. And that's going to kill us in our country, because we're going to recognize that these investors will want the best way to make their money. They're interested in just trying to help you. You see what I'm saying? Let's get one more person and take a break. Go ahead. One more person. Good. Everybody seems to be. I've silenced everybody on the panel. We're going to come back. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this issue. I know you a lot more questions and comments are coming on this, so stay close. We're in the Youth Zone all the way from EXUMA.
Please let them consider the National Training Agency. The government has set up this program for you because they don't want you to join the continuous list of unemployed young people. That's why the age is 17 to 26. Because they find that when some persons come out of school with no preparation for what they're going to do next, they just keep going on and on and on, 17, 18, 19, 20, up to 26. You could not have had a job at all, or you could have a couple part-time jobs and nothing serious.
So you need to find out now what opportunities for careers are available to you so that you can take advantage of them.
At the Youth Zone, searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down. At the Youth Zone, we may be young, but we're the next generation. Let us save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the new EXUMA, the changes our island will undergo, and are we prepared to embrace them? Let's continue our discussion.
Very, very good, Glenn. And I want to continue it by bringing in somebody who I think has the expertise. She, of course, is the director of Forecast Academy Career High School. That's interesting. And of course, she's also the coordinator on the ground of the National Training Agency. Please welcome Ms. Laureate Josie Dean, please, to the show. Everybody welcome her. I want to begin, first of all, perhaps with your hat as NTA coordinator, because we hear a lot of the kids saying a lot of what we've heard, a lot of the adults saying, people want a good job, people want to be able to take advantage. People get very territorial about other people coming to the island, even if they're Bahamians, but they want it for themselves. But they're not willing to do what it takes to prepare themselves. Is that what you're finding on the ground as you prepare, plan and courses and roll out opportunities for training?
Not really. I'm finding that the young EXUMians are quite interested in taking charge of their island. That is what I'm finding out. I find out for the most part, they are not aware of what is available to them. So a lot of the effort has to go into making them aware of it. Young Exumians usually want to stay in EXUMA.
Wow.
They want to work here. They demand opportunities here. So I'm finding out that once you bring the opportunities to them, bring the training to them, let them know what's available, they're willing to take advantage of it.
Do you feel that a lot of the job opportunities that are coming on stream, or that will come on stream with the new EXUMA, that residents here have the necessary skills to occupy the majority of it?
Well, they might have skills, for example, in construction, in office work, but whether they have the proper training and certification is our concern at the National Training Agency. Because many persons walk on a construction job and they say, oh, I could do that. I worked on a construction job before, I can do that. But the contractor or the foreman might be looking to see if you're certified in doing a particular skill. So you might be able to do something, like you might be able to do drywall, or you might be able to lay tile, but there's nothing that say you can do it. So they're still likely to bring in somebody from another island or from another country who has the certification. So at the National Training Agency, we're telling young people it's not enough to say that you can do it. Like when you want a job, an office job, and you say, oh, I could do anything in the office. No. We want you to be trained, certified. If you're certified in customer service, you have that certificate that says that. If you're certified in bookkeeping, you have that certificate. If you're certified in IT and computer skills, you have that certificate. That is what we're doing.
For those students who come out of high school, whether it's graduating from Forest, Career, whether it's graduating from Ellen Coakley, whether it's graduating from St. Andrews, Anglican, those who are not able to go off to school, what can they do when they come out of school to be able to prepare themselves with the necessary skills to qualify for one of these jobs in the hospitality industry?
Well, the first thing they can do is talk to their guidance counselors and their teachers who will have the information on the National Training Agency. They need to find out exactly where the office is located for the training, because we don't only do training, we also do career counseling. And we also set you into what area you're likely to go. For example, if you come out of school and you feel like you need to do something that we feel is best suited with you connecting to the College of the Bahamas to do it, we point you in that direction. If we feel that you need more immediate training to connect to the hotel industry or a construction site or something, then we know that NT is the place for you.
What are most of you gonna do? And I know I ask this all the time to high school, and it's amazing what you get. How many of you plan to go to college after high school? Okay. How many of you plan to go to college out of the country after high school? How many of you have the funds to go to college after high school out of the country? My point exactly. We all desire to do it, but the reality is financially we don't have it now, so you're depending on a scholarship. But if that scholarship doesn't happen, what is your next plan? Do you have another plan? Talk to me, panelists.
I guess another plan would be, if you really want to go to college, find a steady job, save towards it.
So my thing is, how are you going to find that job if you don't have the basic skills?
Well, I think you have to be interested in what you want to do and go get certified.
Yes.
That's the normal thing to do if that's what you really want to do.
Are you finding that since it's been in existence, people who leave school are coming to the training agency for courses?
Well, the National Training Agency is set up for students between the ages of 17 and 26. And so whoever's in that age category can come continuously. I have found that when students just leave high school in June or July or August, they tend to still be in the euphoria period. Like they still grasping on, I have accomplished finishing high school.
They're taking a vacation from
They're
school.
taking a vacation about thinking about seriously what they're going to do next. So our goal is to present the National Training Agency to them and to their teachers and principals before they actually get to the school leaving period, and let them know that if you have students who are more inclined to technical and vocational studies, if you have students who you feel gonna be out there wondering, what am I gonna do after I graduate? Please let them consider the National Training Agency. The government has set up this program for you because they don't want you to join the continuous list of unemployed young people. That's why the age is 17 to 26, because they find that when some persons come out of school with no preparation for what they're going to do next, they just keep going on and on and on, 17, 18, 19, 20, up to 26. You could not have had a job at all, or you could have a couple part-time jobs and nothing serious. We're about helping you to get training so that you can build a career. When you get the initial training from the National Training Agency that the government is paying for, you're so motivated and so excited that you would want to pay for yourself to go to the next level.
Awesome. Rebecca?
Well, we're not out of talk, but out of time. So let's continue the discussion on social media at our Facebook page, The Youth Zone, and Twitter page at The Youth Zone 242. Or meet us on our interactive chat at zennestbahamas.com.
It's going down at the Youth Zone. We may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone. To save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
It's about that time when we focus on entrepreneurship, and this entire season we've been focusing on Bahamas striping. Take a look.
Well, one of the first tips I would give them is to definitely don't procrastinate. Most people have ideas of starting a business, but they say, well, oh, it's in the right time, and it's too late. I need more money. I need this. I need that. What I would say with them, if you need $5,000 to start a business, start off with $500. Start off smaller, and then grow to that, $5,000. One of the other thing I would tell them is definitely starting a business from as a young person. It requires a change of mindset in today's business atmosphere, and I think that the young generation in this technical age has I would say a better chance of surviving. It's just that they need to hone in on their talents and use their talents to advance their business. I think no matter what the business is, the technical age is advancing. To all business have to be a bit more technically inclined, and as young people, they definitely have the advantage there. Another advice I would give is to don't look to I would say be a success overnight. Most people have this idea of, if I start my business, I'm the boss. I have arrived. But they don't know that it's a process you have to go through in order to actually call your business a success, and that's why they get discouraged so easily, because if they been in business for, let's just say, 6 months now and things is looking bad, they tend to say, oh, they ain't gonna work, but because they don't understand the process. But if they have the mindset that I'm going to go through at least 3 to 4 years of heartache, you understand, then they'll be better to prepare themselves and make it through those challenging times. It's key, because if you don't plan for the pitfalls, when you get into them, you're going to be overwhelmed, and it's just going to be, I would say, overwhelmed with the burden of trying to get out. But if you plan, you could be able to better maneuver around it, and I would say outlast the challenge. Because there's always going to be challenges. It all depends on how you prepare for it and what you prepare for. I know for me, we plan our business, I would say 2-3 years ahead. And so when we get into a bit of a challenge, some might come at the shock, but I would say we navigate a bit because of the planning status in our business.
Save our nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Well, an important part of any student's life is, of course, studying and preparing for all of these external exams. And we know we're in the external exam season, and of course, the end of term exams for all students, especially those on family islands. And that can sometimes be stressful, that can sometimes be difficult, especially if things happen in your life, like grief and all these other sudden unexpected turbulences that happen. And so we've brought in an expert to help young people deal with this particular thing. We've been getting a lot of calls and people saying, how do I deal with stressed out environments? How do I deal with preparing for exams? And of course, we brought in a certified counselor from New Providence, Delano Roll, who has happened to be on the island as well, to talk really about this initiative. Thank you for joining us in the Youth Zone.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk first of all, is it a natural thing for young people to be experiencing high levels of stress as they prepare for exams during this season?
Well, Killen, yes, it's very normal and natural, especially for those young people who are in the 12th grade, and they are now coming to that point in their lives where they are actually about to transition on into either college or into the community. They tend to have a lot of stresses because the stress of which college to attend, which direction they should take in life, and of course, you know, the national exams, the BGCSE, tends to provide a lot of stress and a lot of pressure on these individuals. A lot of them are stressed out, wanting to pass them because there are scholarship opportunities that are depending upon their pass or failure of such exams. And so we found that the stress levels of our young people are very, very elevated during that period of time. And so we want our young people to understand that it's normal what they're experiencing right now, but there are ways that they can certainly deal with it in order to mitigate and to eliminate some of the stress.
How many of y'all actually become stressed out during, especially during this season of exams and BGCSEs? How many of you experience it? I mean, how do y'all deal with that? Who has the mic? What do you do to be able to bring your stress levels down and take control of what's going on? Give us like, go ahead. Stand up for me.
Well, sometimes I just go sit on the beach and just relax. And
see, that's a good life. You sits on the beach and relax. You can do that. You're the environment. What else do some of you people do?
Well, basically, what you have to do is just go home, eat a heavy lunch, I would say, you know, and just take a nap, you know, just to escape from all of the stress.
Wow. Does that work for y'all?
I mean, it works for me.
Sometimes. Hey, what else do you do?
Them do.
Stand up for me.
You find the smartest friends you have, and you FaceTime them, Skype them, and ask them for help.
And that works?
Yeah.
So people obviously need to be getting space time from you all the time while they're calling you.
Yeah, you need to buy an iPhone.
So what do you recommend? What do you recommend to address the issue of stress?
Okay, there are four primary things that we tend to recommend for young people when they are going through stresses as a result of academics. The first thing is to develop a strong support system, support network, which includes of your parents as well as your teachers, and like the gentleman said, you know, friends who are certainly able to assist and help you. In our culture, parents play a very, very vital part in the support system, because, you know, our parents tell us, I will beat you for every exam you fail. And so, but parents, they have a very, very good obligation and a good opportunity in order to encourage their children not to compare their kids with no one else, but to reassure their kids that they are smart, that they are capable, and that they are able to do it. Secondly, we advise the young people to have what we call a sense of control over the situation. And one of the ways that you can do this is to actually, before the exams, you can go in the center about half an hour to an hour earlier, feel out the environment in order to be able to relax yourselves, go over your material, find out from your teachers or your advisors exactly what you should study for the exams, where the exams are going to be coming from, so you will not waste your time studying something that's irrelevant to what's going to be on the actual exam. Also, we encourage a high level of preparation. Cramming does not work for everyone. There are some persons that it works for, but there are other persons that require preparation. You have to start preparing for your exams much in advance so that you can be able to ace them and do very, very well in your exams. And then, of course, fourthly, we encourage our individuals to have a positive mindset towards the outcome of your results. Don't go into the exam thinking that you've already failed. Go into it positive, thinking and knowing that you're going to do your best, and exactly how you set your mind and how you set your energy is how it's going to turn out.
Some great tips here. How can people get in touch with you and get more information on dealing with stress levels?
All right, to deal with stress levels, you can certainly give us a call at DR Counseling and Associates. Our number is 698-1112. That's in Nassau. And of course, our cellular contact is 423-5905. Or you can hit us up at DR Counseling and Associates at outlook.com or on Facebook at DR Counseling and Associates.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. And hopefully we'll keep our stress levels down.
Thank you so much, Robbie.
Stay with us. When we come back, of course, we talk to the principal of Ellen Coakley School, that's our school of the week, and find out about the miraculous change he's making here on EXUMA. Stay with us. You're in the Youth Zone.
And we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone. To save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
What's happening in your school? What sets you apart from the rest? Well, every week we'll find out when we feature a different school. This week we welcome the only government high school on EXUMA, Ellen Coakley High School. Welcome, Principal Dawn Ba.
So, Mr. Ma, your work has preceded you. Everywhere I go, people are telling me, have you met our new principal? Have you met our new high school principal? He has done an exceptional job transforming, and people have been talking about it. As simple as, I understand the view that we saw yesterday, we thought was so breathtaking. All that view wasn't always there. We understand it was piled up with bush, and you cut it down so that people can have views. Tell us a little bit about, since coming here, the work you've been doing in trying to transform the education system.
It was like a dream come true to come back to my alma mater and serve as the principal. And so coming back to the island, it has its expectations, high expectations of me. And I promise the people of EXUMA that I will not let them down. And so when I knew for sure that I was coming to EXUMA as principal, I'd already had some things outlined that I wanted the people of Ellen Coakley to experience. One of them was to be able to enjoy that view that I got used to as a student at the high school. And so with the partnership with our school board, we were able to get the DA tractors and get it cleared down on our first month here. The second thing I had advocated for, thanks to the Sandals Foundation, was an up-to-date PA system. Communication is very important in every school. And in high school, there was no PA system. The school, many times people feel that, or think that because it's a family island school, it's a small school, you can just walk right across to the next classroom and get all of the information disseminated. Not necessarily so. As you can see, Ellen Coakley is a huge campus. Yeah. And so I gave a proposal to the Sandals Foundation, and the executive manager, general manager, Mr. Jeremy Mutton, he jumped on it right away. And he was able to help us secure a state-of-the-art PA system, communication system, that I'm able to sit in my office and communicate with the entire school at the same time. This is very necessary because in case of an emergency or school lockdown, we are able to communicate and get information out in a quick manner. Also, they were also able to secure for us a PA system that we can address the school during assemblies. These things may be small, but they are necessary if we are going to talk about moving Ellen Coakley to that next level that it needs to go. Now, as a student, the transition has been made, and so now it's my time to make sure that the students who I have been able to lead at this point, that they understand that they must value their education, because it is a sacrifice for me to come here to EXUMA. Yes, I could have been anywhere else. I could have still been in Nassau. But I chose to come here because this is where I believe I can make the most impact in my profession. And I bring the passion and enthusiasm, and I want the young people of EXUMA, the students of Ellen Coakley, to understand that if you believe in something, there's no reason why you should not pursue your dreams. I always knew that one day, Mr. Watson, I would be a person who would work with young people and be able to motivate them. It's not an easy task, right? I'm shaking in my boots, but I realize that whenever you have an assignment on your life, you must be able to fulfill it no matter what cost. And so helping me to fulfill these initiatives, I have a talented group of young teachers as well as senior teachers as well as students. And I was able to share my vision with them. We were also able to get some other corporate sponsors. The hall that you sat in yesterday with the students, just 2 weeks ago, that was fully upgraded. Wow. With the plexiglass and heavy AC units. Thanks to the fine people of Island Luck, they were able to come in and do a marvelous job in helping our students, because I told them right away that I want the students of Ellen Coakley to be, whenever they have their national exams, I want them to be able to sit in an environment free of distractions and comfortable, so that if they should ever fail, they have no one to blame other than themselves. And so they are very comfortable in their environment. And some of the other things that we were able to do, sometimes it's simple as pulling out the best of what you already have, your resources. We have a young lady who is an expert in reading at Ellen Coakley High School, Mrs. Jabena Curry. I knew of her because we had a relationship in terms of working in the past. And she was here at Ellen Coakley. She was being underutilized. So I said, okay then, you are a reading intervention specialist. Here's what I want us to do. I want Ellen Coakley to be on lockdown for one day. We're going to test every student. We're going to find out what their reading level is. Wow. We are going to be able to tailor-make our lessons to accommodate every student. I am always of the view that data is what drives school improvement. If you do not have the data, you cannot speak to anything professionally as well as intellectually. I know the reading level of every student in Ellen Coakley High School. What we intend to do is also be able to bring in personnel from examination and assessment center in Nassau to help our students to pass those exams successfully. In fact, just recently, in February, I think it was, we brought in personnel from the examination and assessment section of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, to help our students with papers 1 and 3 of English language. And I'm expecting the yields to be great because the investment has already been made. Also, what we have done was we've been able to help to transform the campus, bringing in a new culture. I came from a school that is known as a school of excellence and a school of choice. I wanted to come here and let Ellen Coakley experience that same level of success and excellence. What we did was, the first day I came here with the mindset that every student in Ellen Coakley High School would understand what the vision is. Wow. It has to be a shared vision. They must understand what the new culture of Ellen Coakley High School is. Every morning when we have our morning devotions, our students must know our pledge. They must know the Bible verse. They must know what it is that makes Ellen Coakley the greatest high school in the central and southern Bahamas. These are things that are expected. They must know about our patron. They must know what it is that they're expected to do in their future. I mean, I can go on, and this is what I've done in the 9 months I've been in. I'm not bragging and I'm not boasting. It's just that I value what I do. I take my work very seriously, and I'm very passionate about what I do.
Well, that's definitely amazing, and I think we understand now why you are considered such a valuable principal. And we say hats off to you, and I'm sure you all are very proud of your principal, aren't you? If we could duplicate that kind of enthusiasm and commitment and passion through all of our schools, no doubt all of our nation's youth would be in a more positive position. And Mr. Barbie salutes you and say hats off to you for the work you're doing here in EXUMA, and continue to push and go further, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you. And listen, I believe education and the future of this island here on EXUMA is all up to the people on the EXUMA. And based on what I've seen so far taping these shows, there are some outstanding young people on this island. Boy, I wish I had y'all in Nassau. I wish I had y'all in Nassau. But let me continue to encourage all of you young people to go after your dreams. Don't allow anything to distract you, no matter how much of a disadvantage you may feel, no matter how much you feel is based on favoritism. Go after your goals, because if all of you are able to achieve that, it makes this island that much more greater, and by extension, makes our country that much more greater. But based on what I've seen, EXUMA, you have a great future ahead of you with these young people at the helm, all of you. And I say congratulations to all of you.
Well, it has been great hanging with you. Hit us up on Twitter at YouthZone242 or Facebook at the Youth Zone.
Or email us at theyouthzone242@zennesbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
We definitely do. I can't believe it's time to leave EXUMA. We've been having such a great time here. We want to say thank you to all of our sponsors: BAF Financial, Sky Bahamas, Bahamas Air, February Point, Sandals, Emerald Bay Resort, the Ministry of Investments, of course, the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, all of you that have partnered, the local government and the island administrator, Mr. Neil Campbell, everyone that have partnered with us to bring this show to the islands. We love doing it, and we were happy that EXUMA was selected for us to bring the Youth Zone to. What y'all say? And hopefully, we'll encourage EXUMA to probably have their own version of the Youth Zone EXUMA. And I think we can get that off the ground running. It would be great to have them do their own show, the Youth Zone. And hopefully we'll be coming to your island soon and your island next. And of course, it's bringing us to the end of our season. So we have one more show left, which is our season finale back in Nassau. And that'll be the end of this season 4. And then of course, we'll be on break until season 5 again. But thank you from all the way from EXUMA for watching the Youth Zone. Good night, everybody.
And we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now